Welcome, this is Stephanie with Growing from the Woodpile, and today is an April garden tour, and we are going to start inside. These are my second round of plant starts. This is opal basil, this is Thai basil, this is lemon basil, which surprised me. It tried to already go to seed in here. So I did top these, and I did top these Thai basil. And then I was like, heck, I'm just going to go ahead and start a couple other things. So I don't know why I needed to talk like that. These are zinnias, cosmos, chamomile, which I had a hard time getting to grow my first time a couple years ago. So I planted them really heavy, and I'm going to have lots of babies. Hopefully they can separate pretty well, but I'm still going to have to kill some babies. I don't need that much chamomile, and I can't give away that much chamomile. So in my green stalks outside, I kept on trying to grow green onion, and it wouldn't. And look at this. Started in here, bam, lots of green onion. Got more cosmos back here, some marigolds. Even though they've been doing well seeding outside, I was like, might as well try. This hollyhock here, it's a pink champagne, and I planted many out in my garden, but they wouldn't grow, I thought, and then I think a few did. But I have not yet got a mature hollyhock plant. And I was running out of seeds, so I was like, I'm going to start it inside so I know the seeds are good. So this is sweet basil, and this is the inside garden tour. Yeah, and now let's head out back. Oh, before we head out back, I was having a small gnat problem, and so I did sprinkle cinnamon. I did do like the rustic gardeners, how he pours boiling hot water, but that still didn't. I'd got these a couple of years ago in my house. You spray or pour in some of this into there, and that seemed to work. Apple cider vinegar works well in those too. And then I got some sticky, oh no, I just put it on my plant. Now it's sticking to it. No. I just pulled that one out of the ground. No. Okay. Don't move the sticky plants. See, I caught a few flies on that one. All right, now we're gonna head out back. We got the pup right there with his favorite toys, water bottles. They're thicker water bottle. He hasn't tore it up yet, and we do grab it from him when he gets to that stage. Last weekend, we got the green stalk installed. Made a little gate here, but it doesn't have a very good latch, so I just be careful when I go over it. It is about 8 in the morning, and sorry the sun's not going to be the best, but got things to do this afternoon, so we're gonna do a garden tour even if it's not the best light. Got my chamomile over here, which I did not harvest in time. Who did I watch? Watched a bunch of videos on how to harvest chamomile, and when they get to this stage, you've waited too long. And it might be the time of day because it's early and maybe the leaves will come up. But once they lose their leaves or their leaves droop down, you've waited too long. But do need to get in here and trim him up so maybe he'll put out more buds. But it's okay. I got a beautiful plant for a while. Basil from last year. I need to come out and trim up these green onions. A lot of my green onions are starting to go to seed, which I will save, but I love green onions, and so we need to get out here. Strawberries that are covered. Lots of strawberries under here. This was a whole strawberry bed, and the ones towards the end died, and I know underneath the chamomile there should be, there's a struggling plant right there, and I just don't know if he's not getting enough sun or he's not getting water, because he's covered by the chamomile. But at least I got this many, and they really do take like 2 years to get good plants. So yeah, got some peppermint or spearmint. I watched a video the other day, and they said peppermint has purple on their leaves, and I don't really see purple. Maybe it was a purple stem. Maybe I need to go watch the video again. I had pulled, there must have been a thyme or rosemary right here in the middle, and I finally just went ahead and pulled it out. It was right here. I just threw it over here. It was dying. Maybe I should try planting it in somewhere else real quick. Maybe after the video I'll do that. but it was crunchy and dying a whole lot. Pepper bed is, I did a pepper video update and the peppers were doing great. And then all of a sudden they weren't. All these new ones were struggling. Leaves were turning yellow. And then the ones I overwintered are bouncing back and doing great. I did check the water this morning to make sure the water was coming out. Check this line though. But I did check this line right here by the peppers and they were. So it wasn't a watering issue. Or maybe it was. Maybe it got too hot. Don't know. Basil again from last year. This is probably a melon, and it was probably a kiki melon. I had one in here that put itself there last year, and I'm pretty sure that's probably one there. What happens is I'm not home a lot during the summer, and the kiki melons burst and die, and then I never get to harvest them. So I am not planting any melons this year because I'm never around when they ripen. This that was supposed to be a jalapeno and was not, he's still trying to live down here towards the bottom. So he may have hope. Marigold. And these marigolds are stinky. Oh, these are jalapenos. And look, they already have 3 jalapenos on them. I decided this year I wasn't going to pull off all the flowers when they were little because I wanted peppers. And we'll see if it stunts the growth of the plants. I don't have any proof in that. I'm just thinking it probably will. The plumeria is starting to get some little sprouty things on here. I've yet to get flowers. This is my 2nd year with him. These Mamma Mia plants here from last year didn't make the overwinter process, but these did, and they have peppers on them. Basil plant from last year. So I heard it does change their flavor when they've gone to seed, and I don't know, it's letting it do its thing. Oh my gosh, look at all these little buds on this habanero. I don't need this many habaneros. I probably should pull out this plant over here and try to pot it and donate it. I don't need that many spicy peppers. This Tabasco pepper, it's just I have trimmed it way back, and he's scaring me already how big he's gonna be. Again, the new plants were struggling. Then these old plants are bouncing back. This dill here is getting ready to flower and go to seed. Look at this plant from last year. One stem, it kind of had problems, never did anything. But he's a poblano. But look, he has little tiny leaves in there, which you probably can't see. But that's okay, he does. Maybe he'll live. Again, habanero, don't need that many, should pull him. This is, I don't know what it is without looking at my phone. All right, pineapple mint, doing okay. I come in here and I spray it real hard, hoping to get the whatever problem it had. I think it was like white flies, and I need to pin this. The drip is kind of sticking out kind of weird. The drip actually looks like it's clamped. And did you even get any water this morning? No, you did not. So I'm gonna fix it right now. Looks like he was, maybe that's why he was struggling so hard, huh? All right, you're not extremely dry. So when we move the mulch, I think he just got his thing pinched off. Rosemary here. Yeah, see, there's all these little gnatty flies on here. I don't know if gnat flies are good or bad, but he looks good. But I noticed something is coming up from underneath in here, and I don't know what it is. Let's see, let's pull you right here. I don't know what this is. I smelled it, and maybe it's oregano, but it doesn't quite look like oregano. Okay, moving on. This tomato bed is struggling. It has all those little flies on it. I did get up this morning and made some of the rusted gardeners. See, that I pulled that one out of that bucket too. I don't know what it is. We're gonna carry it with us over to the oregano and compare. All right, sorry about that distraction. These all have these little blacky fly gnat looking things. They seem to be struggling towards the bottom. They do have water, not too much water. So these two plants are my sacrificial plants. I sprayed them with the Rusted Gardener's neem oil. I'm having issues with making it. I do his instructions and it never looks like his or does what his are doing. So I only sprayed like 4 plants in the garden. Gonna give it like 48 hours and see if they damage the plants. And if they don't, I'll come back out and spray them. All right, these green onions here, look, they have all these little seed pods here. Gonna let them go to seed. Gonna collect the seed. These are kind of funny. There's a pea. Don't know what those are. What are you? What are you? You're a weed. You're a weed. There's a pea. I had peas in here over the winter. So yeah, I did notice, look at this flower. This is going to be a really weird double tomato if it grows. Kind of half-ass given up on these, I've kind of given up on the green stalk for a little bit. One, I'm having this hard compacted soil. It's not actually that hard. I need to pull out the dead plants. I've reseeded and I don't get out here and spray before I guess it dries off. Did finally get one spinach plant to grow this year. Probably should harvest some of him before he gets too hot. The only thing that's done super well in here is the lavender. And he's almost to the point of the videos I've watched this weekend that I should have harvested them sooner. You're supposed to harvest them before they all open. But I don't think these have opened. Maybe I'm okay. I don't know. But lavender has liked the green stalk. This tomato plant has bounced back from over the winter. Don't see any tomatoes on it yet. He's so thick and compact. Yeah, he is. I pulled out a bunch of the lettuce here, cleaning up. Let's see if I get more sun here. And found some more marigolds. That's always good. Basil, overwintered. I left these 2 romaines here that are going to seed, and so I can save seed. See, now this tomato plant over here, same bed, doing well. So I'm just going to give those 2 48 hours and then spray the rest of them. Now this is spearmint. He struggled a little bit, had a buggy problem, and now he's bouncing back. Okay, so this is the oregano. This is the one I pulled from over there. So I'm thinking that one must be oregano over there. Yeah, and I don't need more oregano. I didn't know it kind of came back. Huh. All right. Now, this tomato plant has no bugs, but has bottom yellow leaves. This is my Napa that I've had for 2 years, but I severely pruned him back. And, like it's so great. So, that's okay. He gave me 2 years of good tomatoes. This is a huge dill plant that I'm just letting it do its thing. These are going to be all seeds. And, oh, look, see, these are seeds already developing. But another tomato plant overwintered, basil overwintered, other struggling. Green stalk, and look at this really thick stalk on this Swiss chard that's going to seed. Here's all of its seeds. So, yeah. Bok choy, a toy choy that went to seed, and then all these seed pods either opened or the birds got them, so I wasn't able to save any seeds for them, and he just needs to be pulled out. Coming down here is tomatoes on the one side. Another lettuce I like to go to seed. This one I need to harvest before it goes to seed. And then I had planted ground cherries in here, and they have struggled. And they struggled the first year I planted them in here, but I thought it was a me problem. But I do got a tomato over here. Yeah, those lettuces are done. I watered him by hand the other day. Hopefully he'll come back. This is a calendula that I grabbed from where it was going. Oh, look at puppy. He wants to come over. No, sorry, puppy. Sorry, you can't come. You get in the beds. Yeah, you're worse than garden kitties. These, I think, in here are, I was thinking that they're the Roselle hibiscus, because that's what I had these by. These are really not even. So I'm waiting to see if they really are, or if they are just a weed. Curly leaf basil, I chopped him down so bad, and he lives. So in here I did plant a Roselle, and he's right here. So when it gets just a little bit bigger, I'll compare it to the ones over there to see if that is. I know I've said in other videos, I didn't do anything with my Roselle, but it was a beautiful plant. And I made tea out of it, and it was really bitter. And I put too much sugar in it to me to drink it. Never got around to making the jam. So I plant it for the plant, and maybe one day I'll make jelly out of it. All right, over here used to be a tomato bed. There is still some old tomatoes in it, but I made it a pepper bed. And here's another struggling ground cherry right here. I'll show you, there is one spot I have ground cherries that is trying to live. Now this Swiss chard, I don't think he's going to seed, but he needs a good trimming. I don't care for Swiss chard. My mother-in-law likes it, my mom likes it, so I will get it to them. And so here's a ground cherry. He's doing okay. This one's doing okay. So I don't know if it's too hot or not hot enough, not enough water. Last year I thought it was too cold, so I waited to plant them later. Basil plant, I think he's going on, he's an original, so I think he's like 3 years old. So the tomato plants in the white buckets, where I've done peppers the last 2 years, and the peppers have struggled, the tomato plants are doing well in the white buckets. And the gray bags, I'm going to do a video on those. It took me so many hours to build these out of weed barrier, and look at weed barrier is flaking off and dying. Guess it's a good thing I did 2 coats. He is busted through down here, and I am afraid they're not even going to make this summer. That is my goal, make this summer. Or I need to go at least buy some more white buckets and transplant the dirt into it before they totally just rip and fall apart. But look, I got a pepper here. It says it's a yellow. Oh, this says yellow onion. I've had issues with my tags. We're going to do a separate video on that. This is an orange bite, which is weird because I didn't think orange bites got that big, but maybe it did. Sweet Italian pepper that I bought, and he is trying to bounce back. I'm going to take off this flower. Focus on living, little guy. Focus on living. Beautiful tomato plant. So calendula. This is flat leaf parsley. What are you with 2 peppers, 4 peppers? Oh, it's a poblano. See, now the plants are little and they have all these peppers on them, so that's why I'm like, maybe I should have pulled them. But that was too hard. Didn't want to kill them. End of the life almost for this tomato. He overwintered, and now he's getting bottom sprouts, and I kind of just want to pull him and pull this one here. He did give me tomatoes throughout the winter. So they've done their job. They did great. But I think it was a frost that cut them back, and I just need to pull him. He's done. All right. Now the Roselle over here. This was supposed to be a Roselle, but this looks like peas. How did you get to become peas in here? Yeah. Oh, I'm not even filming. This looks more like peas, which is really weird. Maybe a pea pod dropped in there. Don't know. So, this tomato plant probably gonna live. He only has this brown damage during the bottom, but the tops are pretty good. So probably gonna leave him. Basil. See, I wrote in red. Don't write in red marker. It's cayenne, calendula, green onion, more green onion. So I kind of moved some of the peppers over here. Wow, you got a lot of flowers there, guy. And you have so many tags that aren't the right thing. I don't know what you are. Baby calendula back there. I did put peppers back in here, even though I said I wasn't going to put them back in the white tub. But this is the only tub that did good last year. And I had lots of peppers, so they had to go somewhere. All right, moving along. So these ground cherries over here are the biggest ones, planted at the same time. They do look like they have sun damage, even though I did harden them off before they come back. There's way too much going on in this. I think these are roselles. This is where I had a roselle plant, and I think that's a roselle, and I think that's a roselle. And then I had extra tomatoes, so I threw the tomatoes in, and then ground cherries, that they're big, and then there's tomatoes. So, and then there's one I thought was a ground cherry when I planted it. It's almost obviously a tomatillo, and he's too far away from the other tomatillos, so I don't think he's gonna live. Not a lot going on over here. I had seeded some cucumbers that are not coming up, and probably need to just grab other seeds. I had problems with these seeds last year. Green onion going to seed, tomato plant bouncing back. Now this is the best, well, I don't want to say, but he's a good looking ground cherry here. Tomatoes. Looks like I said I planted some okra in here, and the okra not come up. And garlic, pepper. Look at this pretty little nasturtium, but look how small he is. I think it's because he don't like the small little 5-gallon tub or bucket. All right, there's lots of failures in my garden, and I have to find the joy sometimes. But here it is, my chives. I planted these 2 years ago, and I finally got a set of chives here and a set of chives here. And I'm okay if they take over this garden bed. These are the weird garden beds. These two right here, there's cement under here. The people we bought the house from 20 some odd years ago had like a little like structure that they would park stuff under before they built the shed. So these I have to fertilize more. In my head I do, because they won't ever get to the natural ground soil, which all of these, they're raised bed with a mix, but they do have access after they break through the cardboard, which has been 2 years. So yeah. All right, found a little cilantro plant here, tomato plant looking healthy that was overwintered. This is what's it called, cilantro here. Yeah, and I know I planted some cucumbers in here and they're not coming up. So moving along, this tomato plant is sad. I think I want to pull him. Now, we had really bad wind advisory last night, and that's finally given me the thing that says, okay, time to pull out all the peas. So probably not today, I'm running out of time, but all of these peas, I'm gonna go ahead and harvest. And I don't know what this is. Look at, all of this has this like type of discoloration on the pods. I don't know, it's probably some type of fungus, and probably still edible. And I'll have to decide when it comes. Volunteer tomato plant, a struggling calendula, self-seeded. See, all of these peas were standing up last night and they fell down. Like all the bottom was done, but then I was letting them because they had the flowers at the top. So it's time to pull them. Now this is tomatillo section here. They're all looking good and healthy. A few things that were random, this pepper that I didn't pull out and it's trying to live. A volunteer tomato plant over there. Volunteer tomato plant here. I did plant some okra in here because I was thinking it would shade the tomatillos as it grew, but the okra hasn't came up. I planted one there and one there. This must be fennel that seeded itself. Got a few remains here. Those look like they're getting ready to go to seed. Flower and seed. So I need to get out here and harvest them before I didn't ever get anything from them. This is a random couple of carrots. Something's eating up my hollyhocks here. Got a hollyhock. Got a few peppers in here. I don't know why I planted a hollyhock in here, but I did. I purposely planted the hollyhock in here. Now these are all peas that again need a harvest. All of these gray tubs mostly have onions in them, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. It looks like maybe this one's bulbing up. It has this really long red stalk here. Does that mean it's gonna bulb up? And then this one at least doesn't have a pepper in it, but a lot of them have peppers in them. And so how am I gonna turn off the water to dry them out to bulb up? Because my peppers gotta live. Given this tomato plant not very much more time. He's ugly. Sorry, tomato plant. The fruits on here are getting much smaller, and he overwintered and he's done his job. I would buy another lemon boy, but he's time to go. He's hurting. That's a brand new pea. All right. Finishing up this section, we got onions that I don't know what I'm doing on them. Wow, how'd you get grass all the way up here? Maybe you blew up there. Again, they red down here, but I got a pepper plant in there, and I'm just mumbling now. This is a bunch of peppers. This is like Shishito Alley. I planted a bunch of Shishitos. That's a Mamma Mia, but there's a bunch of Shishitos in here. I planted so many of them. Volunteer tomato plant, let him live. Now, these have all dried, and I'm just going to save these and donate them. So I feel like I got my time out of them. There's some peppers in here, some onions in here. Hey, what are you doing? Did you ruin that again? Cilantro plant. And he was licking over here. Oh, see, I planted another roselle right there. I had to move. I had a bunch of buckets all right here, but this little guy would get in there and eat the drip, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? But we like you, so it's okay. Real quick, we're gonna go out front. I gotta wrap this up. Got stuff to do today, don't we, Goose? We do. All right, we're gonna head out front. Well, out front, there was a bunch of African daisies here, and they were all coming to the end of their life cycle, so they just looked like weeds. I did figure out I had a watering problem in these beds, and the rose bush is starting to put on new leaves. Watering problem as in they were getting no water. These are, no, I'm going to say it wrong, redonculus, yeah, some type of bulb I put in the ground. I think they weren't getting enough water, so they struggled, and hopefully they will bounce back and give me some beautiful flowers. You're going to see a stray kitty. He's not my kitty. I need to take him down to the Humane Society and see if he's chipped. He's so nice and friendly. Yeah, I have 2 kitties and 2 doggies. Yeah, but you're so nice. You're so nice. Yeah. Yeah. But look at these. I forget what these are called, but they're pretty. Yeah, they're pretty, huh? They're pretty. Garden kitty doing tour with me, aren't you? Sorry, pulling some weeds while we're here. All right, so hopefully now that the rosebush is getting water, it'll grow something. Now, this is what the choker weed, and he is all over this and now putting out seeds. And I don't know how to kill him. So, yeah. Okay. I'll cut this part out of the video. But, okay. These are some zinnias that seed themselves outside the bed. Don't know how they're going to get water. A kitty. Oh, does anybody want this kitty? He needs a good brush, and he has a bunch of stuff under his belly. He doesn't have a collar. He's so nice. Okay, these are sunflowers that seeded themselves, and they're almost as tall as them house. Oh, I think I see a butterfly. What's it called? A ladybug. Oh, look, ladybug, do your thing. It's about time that these get pulled. They're so overcrowded. There is the African daisies, the calendula, There is nasturtiums way. You can see one right here. Zinnias. And I think I found a hollyhock that I did plant right there. So I need to carefully get in there and thin things out. But this is the April garden tour. Me with stray garden cats. Happy growing. Hope we can find you a home. Thanks for learning and growing with the Woodpile.